All right, so here is our third part, the final part we have for the color triad. And we're going to go through, and if we look at our final image, we're going to do the magenta to yellow run, and then we'll go through and try to do the center mixture and the tones around that. So here we go. We're starting off with magenta. I'm going to do a little bit of detail, trying to kind of fix that up a little bit. And I did not shoot my palette for this part of the video, but you will see my palette come back into view when we start to mix the tones in the middle. So I'm just feeling like I wanted to get a little bit of details and clean up some edges here on the Brontosaurus, mostly just highlight. You can see these are white, magenta plus white mixtures. Just trying to lighten it up and maybe kind of make the skin tone on it feel a little bit more even and not so washy. So trying to make that solid color just a little bit, look a little more solid. And I may go back and do some more details later. But for right now, just doing a little bit of highlights, a little bit on the tail, here and there, just trying to get that finished up so that I'm kind of happy with how it looks. And hopefully we'll start doing our mixture. So I believe I start on the magenta side. So I'm going to have a lot of magenta with a little bit of yellow in it. And that'll be our first color. Here it goes. So this will be like a warm, more orangey version of a magenta. And I'm painting that plant shape kind of back behind the Brontosaurus. And I will probably go over this a couple times so it kind of dries a little bit. Then I go back to the beginning where I started. Just cover over it one more time just to make that paint a little more solid and not so transparent. So now I'm going to try to make a mixture. And we've done this a few times now. A mixture halfway in between magenta and yellow. It's going to be quite a bit orange of a color, pretty bright. And we'll eventually take this color and mix it with the middle mixture to make one of our rock shapes. So I'm painting over that a second time to make sure that that's nice and solid. And here's my third step. So this one's going to be mostly yellow with just a little bit of magenta. I didn't have a shape drawn out. I had thought I was going to use one of the cloud shapes, but then I decided I didn't like that idea. So I'm just kind of make up a shape as I go and try and make a plant shape and paint that behind the Stegosaurus here. And I think we're just about done with that. So now we can start to look at painting the middle mixture and worrying about what that looks like. All right, so here we go. What I'm going to do, if you can see me on the palette there up at the top, is I am trying to mix the four major colors together, and I need to make quite a bit of this. So I am taking a minute to really get it. I'm mixing the light blue with the purple, with the magenta, and the yellow. Overall, I would say maybe I pushed it a little bit more magenta and yellow than I needed to. So it's a little bit of like a warmer kind of gray. But I'm not unhappy with it. So you want a large pile of this so you can mix it, make those tones after you do this. So I usually do this in a separate session. If I do the whole outside colors first, I will do this maybe later, or just make sure I have enough time and I mix up enough paint. So I'm thinning this out a little bit, making it a little more washy like the other colors, with some water, smearing it around so I can still see some of the details through there. And what I'll start to do is take that mixture, and I think the first one I do is the yellow. I'm going to mix, oh, nope, I'm doing it with the blue. So I'm taking that middle mixture and adding the light blue to it. And then in between blue and purple is like the blue purple. So here is the mixture of the middle plus the blue purple plant. Okay. I'm sure I'm washing out my brush. Notice that each time I'm mixing with this, I'm mixing on a different part of my palette. So here's the middle mixture plus yellow. So that's like a warmer version of this tone. Paint that in. Now I'm going to probably move down to the halfway between purple and yellow plus that. So it's a little more brownish, a little bit muddier. Then we'll go over here and move down and go into the middle mixture plus the purple down at the very bottom here. Those rocks are behind there. So it's like if the middle mixture is gray, so it's a gray plus a purple, a gray plus a yellow, gray plus a blue. So you're kind of adding those together. And what you end up with is slight variations of kind of the same color. So now I've got to make my mixtures with, I believe, magenta. So magenta plus the middle mixture. And then I'm looking at the middle mixture between magenta and yellow, which is the orange. So then I'm going to go in and paint orange plus the middle mixture. And then I think I realized that I did not get all the pieces. So I have to do the middle purple between magenta and blue and mix that with the middle color. And here's that color. So because I have 4 colors on the outside, the number of shapes that I need to have for the rocks that have the tones needs to be 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with my primary colors, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 with the mixtures between the primary colors and the center. Here at the end, I'm going to probably just start adding in some details and kind of playing around, maybe making that middle caveman figure a little more solid, adding some thicker paint, making the shadows stand out. I believe the final details that I put on here, I did not shoot a video for that, so you won't see every little bit of that, but we did discuss some of the details and the things that we were doing during class today. So hopefully this has kind of helped you to see how you create the middle mixtures. You take the middle mixture and you add it to your first 4 colors, and then the ones that are halfway between the first 4 colors. So good luck painting, and I'm looking forward to seeing your triads next class.